Hi guys, it's Kasia from Tafalarota. This is another installment in my Tarot de Marseille series. I haven't done any for a while, and this one is going to be a light one as well. So no particular tips this time, but I wanted to share all my Tarot de Marseille decks with you and to show you the traditional Tarot de Marseille decks, but also some Tarot de Marseille type decks. As we know, Tarot de Marseille is not a specific deck, it's a specific style of decks, and this style was mostly developed in Marseille, but also in another towns in France. And right now we consider these decks traditional classical tarot decks. So one of my first two that I purchased from Jean Flonroy from Tarot History are Jeanne Doddle and Jeanne Noblet, and this is Jeanne Doddle. So the cards are quite big. You can see the backs like bird's feet. And this is by far one of my favorite decks ever. Not only favorite Tarot de Marseille deck, but I just love this deck a lot. Especially I love the people and the expressions. So how the figures are positioned, and they have gorgeous eyes. And it's easy to read because you really know where they're looking, what they're looking at, which direction they facing. Everything seems just very clear and readable in this deck. So I personally love this art style, and this deck is by far one of my favorite ones, and I use it for client readings all the time. It's amazing. It's very good, and then I often use it in like an open reading style, so not really in particular spreads, but it's possible as well, of course. But I look at how the figures speak to one another. I look at the shapes that are created through the elemental symbols and so on and so forth. So this is Jeanne Doddle, a very, very beautiful deck. And the other one which I got straight after it was Jeanne Noblet. So this one is smaller. It's like playing cards size, and the faces are a little bit different, but this is one of the oldest tarot decks available to us. And this one comes from about 1600s up to 1650. So it's one of the oldest. And Jean Flonroy really paid a lot of attention to detail, and he actually created these decks using traditional methods. Look at the full Monty of the Fool. One of my favorite cards in tarot, the Moon. It's probably because it's so elusive, the Empress. So there are some tiny differences in how the figures are portrayed. So for example, not in all tarot decks of Marseille style, and the Empress, let's say, it's looking straight at you. Sometimes she's looking to the side. In Jeanne Noblet, she's looking straight at you. Magician also is holding a very specific wand in his hand, creative force. So if you're drawn to this traditional style, where there is not many colors being used, just 4 or 5 primary colors, you will definitely enjoy those decks from Jean Flonroy. They're very good quality and really beautiful. Another deck which I wanted to show you, which definitely can be considered Marseille type deck, it's Tarot Droga. It's a Polish deck, self-published. There were only about 100 copies of it, and the originals were created on the clay blocks and then printed onto the paper. As you can see, I edged the major arcanas, and I still have to edge the rest of the deck because it's huge. This was created by a Polish lady, Marzena Czumaczenko, and I know her. She still has some copies left, so if you're interested, just write me or find her on Facebook under Tarot Droga. There were some symbols on the frames, but I did manage to, I did cover them with black pen. So this deck is gorgeous, and Tarot Droga means Tarot of the Path, and each major arcana card has a part of the path on it, and when you put them in a row, you can see all the cards being connected through this way. I did a video about it and I link it below for you. You can take a look. So this is the High Priestess. Sorry, it's not the best light. On the Tower, and you can see how there's always a way out from a difficult situation. The Sun, Death and Temperance have the rainbow part on them. The Moon. It's a very great deck for meditation, and Wheel of Fortune, gorgeous. Lovers. So the majors are like this, and then the minors have the elemental power, like a symbol, and the pentacles are like kind of green, yellow, and the background is kind of earthy. Then we have the court cards also. The cups are blue. It really doesn't give it a justice. It's beautiful, beautifully colored deck. It's just this hazy light. It's quite dark now in Poland, even during the day. This is the wands. As you can see, they are a little bit differently positioned than in Tarot de Marseille, like traditional way, but they're still very readable and make sense. So, and then we also have swords, and swords are blue background. So they're a little bit color coordinated, and for example, King of Swords. Yeah, so this is a very beautiful, unique, original deck, which I love. The other one, which I also really adore, is the Classic Tarot. It's like a kind of vintage deck from 1974, this back, and I did mention before, it reminds me of Polish glass painting. I love the 70s font and the faces. It's kind of a happy deck. I don't know, this is the Tarot de Marseille that to me is the most feminine and kind of round, I don't know, gives me this kind of round, circly energy feel. Maybe it's because of the faces, I'm not sure, but it kind of seems a bit more light-hearted. And I think the colors are quite cool. Maybe they're not very traditional, but still I love it. I love to use it. Works perfectly. And if you want a little bit of like this sunny kind of sunny feel from a Tarot de Marseille, you can definitely get the Tarot Classic if you can put your hands on it. They're still quite readily available. And the other one, which is also very kind of bright and sparkly, is the Alejandro Jodorowsky and Philip Camon deck. And this one is very saturated, so if you were bored with just these few primary colors of traditional Tarot de Marseille decks, you can definitely go for Jodorowsky's deck. I respect Alejandro Jodorowsky a lot for what he did for Tarot de Marseille. His book, The Way of Tarot, is really gorgeous, and if you want to like start your journey with Tarot de Marseille, I highly recommend it. It's very cool, and he spread the love for this type of decks a lot, and I'm forever grateful. So this deck, these are the bags. It's kind of a little bit more colorful and saturated. And then I also recently got two new decks One is, I got them from sale, like this one was £6 including delivery, so, and the other one was even less, I think. It's Tarot de Marseille, Tom Major's Tarot de Marseille, and comes in this cool box with the cute booklet, which has glossy pictures and short introduction to the cards. And these are the bags. And this one is really light-hearted. It's kind of takes Tarot de Marseille to the fun part of things. You know, there are baseball hats everywhere, and kings look like baseball trainers. Every element has a different background. So the coins were yellow, cups are blue, like purpley, wands are green for growth. And there's a page of wands. So it's all very similar. Queen of Cups. But they just funky and funny. So there's this one. And another deck which is really kind of weird is this Tarot of the Third Millennium. It's not your traditional Tarot de Marseille. The majors are done in this type of kind of drawings. Quite beautiful actually, and the minors are done in a really strange way. So you've got Tarot de Marseille cards like imposed upon some artwork, other artwork. I haven't explored this deck much yet, but I will, and I will get back with this deck as a review, but I just have to play with it a little bit more. I just received these decks. So yeah, that's the Tarot of the Third Millennium, a little bit strange. And then the last one which I wanted to show you is Tarot Noir. It's beautiful. I don't really read French, unfortunately, so this gorgeous book is out of my reach, but if you do, you will really enjoy it. The cards are huge because they are like really big, wide, gilded, and gorgeous. So if you can buy it, I think, from the author online, and he posts from France. It's beautiful. It's a very kind of unique style of the artwork. You know, all the faces have those huge eyes, and it's kind of Tarot Noir, so like dark tarot, black tarot, or Tarot of the Night. So it has these darker colors, but definitely follows the Tarot de Marseille style, and it's gorgeous. I think it's one of my favorites. I managed to get it from a trade, and I'm very grateful because I love Tarot de Marseille decks, and I do keep using them. I don't just have them on my shelf for the sake of having them. So I used this one recently for the shadow spreads, like root spreads for Shadow October work with Momqua. She's on Instagram, and it was very clear to me what the cards were showing. I actually believe that Tarot de Marseille is one of the clearest readers of all decks. I mean, okay, you know, not the clearest, but one of. I love all the tarot systems and tarot decks, but Tarot de Marseille is definitely like very close to my heart. So I showed you all of the decks which I have from this particular type of decks. Hope you enjoyed it. If you know any amazing Tarot de Marseille inspired decks, please let me know in the comment. And if you have any questions, I'm open. You can email me or just comment. Bye.